Welcome to Artist on Record, your ultimate intimate conversation with your favorite artist. And while you're here, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell to be notified. In the hot seat, former Guns N' Roses manager Mr. Alan Niven. Today we're going to talk about the Guns N' Roses video that MTV would not want to play. It all starts now.
I think it's fair to say that the best GN'R videos are the first three and maybe first four that we did. Patience is an interesting concept, and it was a commentary on how people changed around you when you became that well known that fast. It was fucking weird. People changed. It was hard to assess people's intent around you all the time. And there was a lot of ingratiation and a lot of smoke going up asses, and it's very difficult to deal with. So patience was supposed to be a comment on that, and that's why all the people disappear in the video. That's why the girls getting into Slash's bed all morph into a single anonymous person. Who are you spending time with? Who are you being intimate with? How many are you being intimate with? What kind of intimacy are you actually forming by being with all these people? But the one thing about patience for me is Axl was definitely in his element when we shot the group footage at the record plant. That was a little, to use a Hollywood term, that was a little bit of a star performance for me. But where I was getting to was the second video we did was Sweet Child. And Geffen had only, it sounds ridiculous today, only put up 75 grand to shoot Jungle. And to get the storyboard that I formed for Jungle, I had to piggyback it on a Great White shoot and use the same director, same crew. So we shot Lady Red Light, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, we shot Guns N' Roses. And you used to be able to get discounts on the rentals of the equipment and the cameras. It was called a 4-day rental. So if you were working for 5 days, you'd get the 5th one off. I can't remember exactly how it worked, but it was called a 4-day rental. And we had to piggyback those two videos so I could get Jungle shot to the storyboard that had been formed. And then Geffen turned around and offered 35 grand for the next video. And I sat with Nigel and I said, can we get a video shot for 35 grand? And he said, well, we can shoot the band. And that's it. No concept footage, just the band.
For Welcome to the Jungle video.
No, for Sweet Child.
For Sweet Child of Mine.
Yeah.
The order, let me ask you, the order of video.
Yeah, the first one was Jungle.
But Welcome to the Jungle, when you first did the video for MTV was hot, and that was the first song to show the world who Guns N' Roses was Welcome to the Jungle.
But don't forget that MTV ignored it for 6 months.
I didn't know that. Okay. Wow.
They did not play it. We shot it in late June, beginning of July of 1987. The first time they played it was after midnight in the second week of January 88. They ignored it. They ignored the band.
Right here in the middle of the head banging ball, and with us, one of the groups. They say the Stones to the 60s were the kings of their genre. They say Aerosmith in the 70s was the same thing. They say in the late 80s going into the 90s, oh, pardon me, it is these boys right here, Guns N' Roses, out of Los Angeles. These guys.
And of course, it found an audience quickly. But Geffen only gave me 35 grand to do the next video, to do Sweet Child. Thank God. We had some really bizarre directors thrown at us very early on. And one tip of the cap to capital was they introduced me to a guy called Nigel Dick, who had done some Tears for Fears videos. And they thought, no, I don't know, it might have been their sense of humor. They thought two tea bags together might be funny. So they introduced me to Nigel Dick. Nigel Dick shot rocked me, and he did a decent job on that. And I had to bully him into doing Welcome to the Jungle, because he was nervous about the band's reputation. He wasn't sure that you liked the music. And it really came down to me saying, Nigel, if you don't do this for me, I need this. If you don't do this for me, you're not getting another Great White video.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay. So he got Lady Red Light, and we were going to shoot Jungle right on the back of the Lady Red Light. But Nigel was an absolute saving grace. And because he listened, and he wasn't a cliched commercial director who was conditioned to trade in cliche. Nigel would actually listen to you. And thank God, because with Sweet Child, we only had 35 grand, and he found this room that literally had 2 to 3 inches of pigeon shit that had to be cleaned out before we could use it. I mean, that's the budget we were on. We were scraping to find a place to shoot. We were scraping to get a crew together. We were scraping to buy the film. In those days, 35 grand didn't go very far. And Nigel came up with a genius idea, because he was concerned that he might not have enough film to get a decent edit just shooting the band. He said, you know what I'm thinking of doing? I said, what's that? He said, I'm going to hire a grip, and that grip's job is going to be to load a 16mm Bolex camera with 16mm film, black and white film, and have it out all the time. In fact, we'll get 2 or 3 Bolexes, maybe 4. And here's the deal: to get some B-roll and make sure we're going, maybe we'll get lucky and we'll get a little bit off the Bolex camera. But the idea is that anybody in the room can pick up the Bolex and shoot the band, shoot the crew, shoot what's going on. Everybody can have a go at being David Lean. And it was a brilliant idea, because when we got into the edit bay and looked at the footage, I turned around to Nigel and I said, this is what we're going to do. You're going to do he shot some color film and he shot some black and white. And I said, do your color and black and white mix edit. Do your best edit on that. And then we're just going to do a black and white one. And we're going to use black and white footage left over and the Bolex footage, because I was looking at the Bolex footage going, we got lucky. We've got stuff here that's really usable and good. And where it paid off was obviously Sweet Child went through the fucking roof at MTV. And I get the predictable phone call from John Kennelly. He says, Niv, it's been a great fucking run, but we're burnt. I've got to take this off the air. And I said, I entirely understand, John. Of course, you're going to have to do that. But do me one small favor. Check your desk when you come into work tomorrow. Okay. On his desk, when he came in to work the next day, was version 2. So we got another month of heavy rotation out of Sweet Child on MTV. We got 2 videos for the price of half of one.
You're watching Artist on Record, and right now you could catch all our episodes unedited in our members only club. So why not join today? Join the fun, be a part of the action. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, click on the box on your screen here, and give us a thumbs up. Who loves you, baby? We do. We'll catch you all later.